As a real estate agent, your time is your most valuable asset. So, between managing your transactions, listing property, and following up with clients and keeping your business organized, it can feel like there is never enough time in the day. If you're looking to scale your business without sacrificing your personal life, then stick around. We're going to talk about how you can delegate so many things to a high-end professional real estate virtual assistant. Welcome to the Unstoppable Real Estate Agents Podcast. I'm your host and real estate productivity expert, Kim Hughes. Join me as we focus on real strategies and implement real solutions designed for you to achieve major success in your business and life while getting you organized. Real estate virtual assistants have been around for around 25 years. I am the first real estate virtual assistant in the industry, and I have pioneered the way for so many others, and it's very exciting. But on one hand, it's kind of frustrating. So this is where I think that a real estate agent really needs to understand what a real estate virtual assistant can do for them and what they can't, and the benefits of hiring a real estate virtual assistant that is in the USA versus one that is overseas. So there's a big difference here because, and I'm going to just speak on myself because I don't know anything about other virtual assistant companies that are in the United States versus overseas. So everything that I'm sharing with you today is what I have seen in the 25 years that I have been in business working with real estate agents. And it has been extremely gratifying to see how an agent can go from just running around in circles, and then we step in and help them and how they can free up their time and focus on the things that are more important to them. Filing papers and moving documents here and there and marketing a property, closing a transaction. These are the things that a real estate agent shouldn't really be focusing on. I want my agents to be out meeting with people and building relationships, spending time with their family, and at the end of the day, they feel like they have accomplished something instead of rushing home, getting the kids and everybody situated at home, and then going back to work, whether it's leaving the house showing property or you're sitting on your computer trying to play catch up because you were gone all day. So the way that we want to break this down is, first we want to talk about the administrative task that a real estate virtual assistant can help you with. So when I talk about administrative, I mean, we're talking about everything that goes on throughout the day. So this could be making sure that you have all your marketing pieces printed, ready to go, making sure that your CRM is organized, making sure that all of your listings have been marketed correctly per the checklist that you have created or that somebody has created for you. Helping you with your email, your calendar, preparing documents for you to either take to a listing appointment or whether you're going under contract, whatever that may be. And then, of course, you want to have help with other areas of the business that are maybe unique to you. And so the first thing I always ask an agent when we are talking during our discovery call is, if I could ask you the 3 things that you would delegate right now, what would those 3 things be? And, that's going to be different for everybody. It could be that they just want more time. They just don't want to work with buyers, or they don't want to go on listing appointments, or they don't want to work that transaction, or they don't want to do all the daily things that need to be done. Agents need to focus on what they are good at and stay focused on that. And then everything else you need to delegate it, because you can't be great at everything. It's very unusual for that to happen. So the first thing let's talk about is, because this is the most important part of your business, this is your marketing department. So when you have your marketing pieces, meaning like your listing presentations, your buyer presentations, your pre-listing packages, all the marketing that you do for a listing. Okay. So who's creating all that? And is that you? Are you delegating that to someone else? Or do you have someone in your office that works for all the agents and she helps you with that area when she's available? So, and if you have help, I think that's great. This is an area that you do need someone to just take over. They need to understand your personality. They need to understand your community. They need to understand what does your audience need. And then the design needs to be reflective upon your brand. And once we have all that information, then we can sit down and create some amazing marketing pieces for you to use, whether it's to promote your brand or to promote a listing, whatever that may be. So the marketing should be delegated. And you may enjoy it, but this is not where you need to spend time. And you may hate it. So this is a great way to delegate it onto someone else. Another area is, like, so when you get a new listing and you have you've come home or you've come back to the office, you have your listing paperwork and you're ready to go. So the first thing you need to do is input the listing into the MLS, put it in a draft, whatever that may be. Then you've got to start reaching out to everybody that needs to help you get that listing ready to go on the market. These are your photographers, your videographers. If you have to hire separate people for the drone, are you going to have things done to the house to update it so that when it goes on the market, it's going to be totally ready to go, to be promoted? So that's where a real estate virtual assistant can help you. So you come back to the office, you have that signed listing, and then you let your, real estate virtual assistant know that you have a new listing. So what happens is the documents are uploaded wherever you need them to be, and then you just heads up to your virtual assistant saying, "Hey, I've got a new listing. The documents are in wherever. This could be Google Drive, this could be your Dropbox, this could be in your transaction program. It could be paperless pipeline, SkySlope, whatever that may be." So what you do to get those documents to your listing manager is going to be what's unique to the two of you and what works for both of you. Now, once she has that information, then she can start scheduling the appointments that you need. She will reach out to your seller, introducing herself and taking it and go from there, making sure that the documents are, like your flyers. If you're doing open houses, she's going to get all that ready for you. And you don't have to even think about it because she's going to have a checklist or an action plan or a roadmap, whatever you want to call it, to take you from the time that you list that property until it goes under contract. She's going to handle all your social media. She's going to write your property description. She's going to put the seller in your CRM. She's going to put that seller on an email sequence for the seller. So there's a lot of moving pieces here. And so just know that as you are doing them, so maybe what you do is on your next listing, you write down everything that you're doing for that property, and there's your checklist. And then you sit down with your real estate virtual assistant and have her talk to you about that because she may be able to fill in some blanks and say, well, I have a client that does this. Would this be something that you would be interested in? So this is a great way to tap into what your real estate virtual assistant knows, and she knows what works. So for us, when we have a client that wants us to handle their, manage their listings, the first thing we're going to do is look at their checklist, and then we're going to come back to the table and say, here's what we see other agents doing. Would you like to implement this as well? And it's totally your decision, but at least she's bringing it to the table. And that's where I think your real estate virtual assistant should stand out, because when they come to the table with ideas, with what other people are doing, what they've read, what they've researched, etc., that is an asset to your business because now you're not having to come up with everything. You can rely on her to bring the ideas to you because of what she's seeing going on with her other clients. So that's what we do. We look at everything our clients are doing. We create one massive generic checklist, and then we go down that list. When we have a new client that we're marketing listings for, we go down that checklist and say, okay, they do this, they don't do this, but they might be interested. So always ask your real estate virtual assistant, does she have any recommendations for you on how you can promote that property? Or maybe even just the paperwork, or maybe it's just how you do things in your business that helps you market to your community. And this is not only going to be a wow factor for you, but just think of what your sellers are going to think when you have all of this marketing done in a very fast turnaround. Usually we say, 3 to 4 days, we can have a property fully marketed depending on what you want to do. Sometimes it just takes 24 hours. But if you really want to market a property that's, top of the market, then it's usually going to take a couple of days, 3 at the most. So keep that in mind, because there's a lot of moving pieces on the back end that you may not realize that takes place, that we're moving things around and tweaking it so that we make sure that listing gets full exposure to everybody. So, for example, if you wanted to e-blast that listing out to your database, to your area agents, to your network of agents, this is something your real estate virtual assistant can do for you. So keep an open mind of what you can delegate and what you don't want to delegate. And then as you grow that relationship with your real estate virtual assistant, then you can start trusting her and giving her more, which is huge. Okay. So the longer you work with one, the better you get to know them and know where their strengths are. Then you can tap into that and they can help you even more. Get ready to transform your life and your bottom line by turning expired listings into money in the bank while building your listing inventory. And we have done it all for you. Let me introduce you to the ultimate expired listing system. We have worked on this for 25 years and we have perfected it to show that this system is proven to bring you listings. In this course, you will get 7 video lessons on how to create a step-by-step system. You will get 10 postcards with a specific message or a call of action, 10 email sequences designed for the seller, 10 letters that will attract the seller's attention with a call of action, and then you'll get scripts created for you to schedule that first listing appointment. Your introductory package. This is the secret sauce to the success of the ultimate expired listing system. I'm giving you worksheets that we have created to keep you organized through the process. And these how-to videos that we have created for those who need a little help with technology and how to use it is to your advantage. We also offer you a private Facebook group dedicated to those that use the system. If you have questions, this is where you will go. You want to network? This is where you go. And then we give you a bonus. We give to you the tools you need to create the profitable expired listing system. We are always offering bonuses for your accomplishments, extra training and support from the Kim Hughes team. We bring you over 80 years of combined real estate experience. Yes, we have that much experience. Ready to change your life? Ready to grow your business? Let's get started. Jump over to theultimateexpiredlistingsystem.com or visit kimhughes.com to learn more and how we can help you put this system in place. Now, it's not unusual to have maybe, 1 or 2 virtual assistants. Like in my company, if you are doing marketing and you're doing transaction management, you might have 2 different people. And the reason for that is when I started building my team within my company, I was looking for people that had a real estate background. So they already knew what the industry was like. They already know how things work. They know that it could change in 5 minutes. So by tapping into what somebody on that comes to me that wants to work on my team, that's the first thing I look at. And this should be the first thing you look at. What is your background? What is your experience? What are you good at? What do you not enjoy? And that, when you ask people what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are, they're very hesitant to tell you their weaknesses. And I thrive on that. I want you on my team, and I want you to be the best that you can be, because not only is it a reflection on yourself, it's a reflection on my company. So when I'm talking to someone, it's going to be like, if they tell me they're very analytical, they're very detail oriented, then they're going to be a perfect fit for transaction management. If they come to me and say, I'm not that person, but I love the creativity, I love coming up with new ideas, etc., these are going to be my marketing real estate virtual assistants. And then I have those that can do both. And then I have those that are really good about putting systems together, organizing your business, creating all the systems that need to be done in your business so that your business flows. Just every day it just flows, because we have listened and watched and talked to you about what you need to do to create systems for yourself. So my company, we are pretty much involved in every aspect of your business. You get to choose where you want us to be in your business, but we can literally run a business virtually for you. The only thing we don't do is physical things. Like, we're not going to drive to a property and put out a property sign. We're not going to be able to take those photos, but we're going to be able to do everything else. So I want you to think about that when you are looking at hiring a real estate virtual assistant, because what you need to understand is, what do you need? So the first thing I'm always going to recommend is you do a brain dump. Write down everything you do not enjoy doing in your business, and then write down everything you do enjoy doing. And the things that you don't enjoy, absolutely 100%, you can have them help you with that. But then there's things that are going to be on the positive side of your business that you enjoy, but they may not be necessarily where you need to be. So talk to your real estate virtual assistant about that as well. Okay, so we've talked about the listing side. Now let's talk about the transaction side. So you can take, from the time that you go under contract, that virtual assistant can take that contract all the way to the closing table and beyond. So what you need to do is talk to your transaction coordinator, find out what her background is. It's very important that you know what the background is of your real estate virtual assistant. She may not be focused on real estate, and she may not have ever worked in real estate. So that's going to be a huge training for you to make sure that she knows how to do transactions. So with our transactions, we have everybody on my team has come to me with that background, and then they have joined my company. So there's not that much training, because they already know what they're doing. And that goes with anything in my company. When you come to my team as wanting to work on my team, you better have a real estate background, or you better have the knowledge of what real estate is involved with, so that you can be the best asset to the client's team. Email, email and calendar management. Yes, we do all of that as well. That is something that you would work with on one-on-one with your virtual assistant, because of the way your day is and how you want it to flow. We could prepare your documents. We help you with client events. We help you with your newsletter, your website. I mean, we could talk hours on this topic. And so, but the point that I hope that I'm making with you is that it is very important to your business that you hire the best for your team. Not necessarily the cheapest, because sometimes when you get the cheapest, it's going to be the cheapest work. There's a lot of overseas people that can help you. You need to understand, do they have background in this? People overseas don't know real estate in the United States. So be very cautious when you hire someone to work with you on very delicate areas of your business, such as transaction management. Now, if you're just having people send out emails and hey, you're under contract and done, absolutely you can hire somebody overseas. So when you're working with like emails, calendars, um, if you are um, needing database help, these are things that I would say that somebody overseas could help you with. But again, you've got to know their experience because I have seen real estate virtual assistants from overseas come in and totally destroy someone's business because they really didn't know what they were doing. And they only told the agent what they wanted to hear. And the agent thought, oh, this is great. I'm getting this person for $5 an hour. They can do 30 hours of work for me, and I'm just really doing great. But then at the end of the day, I'm the one that gets the phone call from you saying, oh my gosh, I have somebody screwed up my database. They have screwed up the back end of my office. They've cost me money in a transaction, etc. So just know that whoever you're hiring, make sure they know what they're doing and it's to your benefit. Okay. So in my business, you want to talk to any of my transaction coordinators, you're welcome to do that. My transaction coordinators that have been with me, oh my gosh, 7 years plus probably, and they know what they're doing. I do not micromanage them because they are so good at what they do. And so that's where I want you to see the benefit of hiring a real estate virtual assistant that knows what they're doing because we can step in and just take over. We'll ask you some questions. We need to understand your personality, what your expectations are, and then we can take that transaction and go right through it. And I'm very transparent in my business. I mean, I tell everybody that, the first transaction, it's a learning curve. We know what we're doing, but if we have never worked in your state or we've never worked with your brokerage or if we've never worked with you, then we have to understand what does that look like and how do we make sure that everything is taken care of. So, every brokerage is different and what they need from you and your state and your county and your city. I mean, it's all crazy. So that's where we come in and we know what we're doing. We may need to understand what you want, but once we have that, then we are ready to go. And then when it comes to social media, when it comes to, social media and blogging and creating videos, I think they all go together. So a social media manager could be a huge asset to you because again, if they know what they're doing, a real estate virtual assistant can be a huge help for you in this area. We can help you write your content. We help you create video. Well, you create your videos. We'll help you with what your topic should be and how you should do it and show you all the ways to do a video. And then once we get that video, we'll create all types of social media for you, reels, carousels, long form, short form. We'll take it over to YouTube, put it out on YouTube. There's everything that goes with it. And when somebody knows what they're doing in social media, as a manager, they can recreate that content for you over and over and over so you don't have to keep doing something and recreating the wheel. So that's where we want to avoid you doing that, okay? Now, you may be somebody that enjoys video, and that's great because that's going to even make it more fun because you enjoy doing it. You're not intimidated by being in front of the camera. So you're going to be out there doing more videos. More videos is more content. More content is more for social media, which of course is for your audience. And then, let's talk about farming. Every agent should have a farming area. And it should, in my opinion, and I'm basing this on things that I've seen over the years, but I always say focus on one farm area for every quarter. And, if you live in that type of area, not everybody can do that. Like where I live, we are a very small town. There's 5,000 people. So if I was a real estate agent here, not only would I be an agent in my town, but then I would look at the surrounding areas and see which ones that I would want to work in and then create a farming campaign that goes to those communities every quarter. And then that's where you can create, your assistant can create your marketing pieces. She can mail them. She can gather the database. She can put that whole thing together for you. So keep that in mind, that if you are one of those agents that wants to farm but just hasn't taken the time, because it is time inclusive, then I highly recommend that you talk to your assistant about helping you with this. Client events. We do this all the time. We help with all types of client events. We help with websites. So a website today is not what they used to be, but you still need some type of a website. And I'm not talking about a brokerage website. I'm talking about you owning your own domain, your own place on the internet. And that is basically your calling card. But this is where you're going to talk to your audience. They're going to see you there. They're going to listen to what you have to say, whether it's video or content. You want to blog. You want to have everything showing on social media, and then social media coming back to your website. So there's a lot of things here that can be done, but you've got to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing. Because when you ask people, well, what's the Google Analytics code for my website? What is the Facebook pixel? There's just all kinds of things that go on the back end to make everything come together. So you need somebody that is a little bit more knowledgeable in technology and how these things work. And then we go from there into, say at the end of the year, one of the biggest things that I promote with my clients is that every January of the year, you should be getting your settlement statements ready to send out to the clients that you worked with in the previous year. And that way, that is your first touch for the year. And that should be a wow factor to them, because they're going to be looking for it. They're not going to know they need it. Whatever the case may be, you're going to be a step ahead of them, and you're going to get it to them. And this is something we work with our clients to make sure that they do that by the end of the month in January of every year. And we do have a settlement statement package that if you want to do it yourself, you're welcome to go to it. Go to my store. You'll see it. It's called the Client Settlement Statement Package. Okay, so I know that it's probably a lot going on here, but this is a lot of stuff that you need to make sure that when you hire a real estate virtual assistant, she can help you take your business, double your business. Perfect example. We have a client that she was with us maybe for 2 years. And her second year with us, her goal was to take off the last quarter of the year. Totally take off. I mean, like shut down, because she wanted to enjoy her life. And so what we did was we helped her get to that goal, and she was able to achieve it. And she was able to take that last quarter of the year off, totally off. But the reason why is because we were helping her and she was not having to do everything herself. So that's where I want you to think is, if I want to sell, let's say I sold 12 homes last year and this year I want to sell 24. Well, okay, you're going to have to double everything that you've done last year to achieve that this year. So that's where I want you to think is, how can a real estate virtual assistant help me? You could start off with the smallest little thing and then just grow with her as you grow, or you feel confident that she knows what she's doing and you trust her to be into your programs and everything. Business systems, organization. This is a huge area for us. We have agents coming to us asking us to start analyzing what they have in the back office of their business to make sure that everything is running smoothly. And then if they don't have these systems, they're asking us to help them create them. So this is a huge area that someone with a lot of experience can help you with, because we come in and we look at everything. We look at how do you set up your CRM? What kind of CRM do you have? Do you need a different one because it's not functioning the way you need it to? So we're looking at every little detail and then coming to you with an example of what we see your business back office looking like. And then we hear your feedback, and then together we build that out, and then we go and create it for you. So there's not a whole lot of businesses that can do that. I'm not going to say I'm the only one. I am going to say that we are one that can do it, and we do it all the time. So when you're talking to someone about building systems and creating organization in your business, make sure they know your programs, make sure they know your business, make sure they know what you need. Because this is what I tell everybody. The real estate industry is its own beast. There's not another industry out there like it. So I don't know if you come from a banking, a teacher, mortgage lender, farming. I don't care where you come from. You're never going to see a business that runs like a real estate business because there's so many pieces that it just is constantly moving around. Um, Another thing that you might want to focus on is, your file organization. Where do you keep everything? Do you keep it in Dropbox? Do you keep it in Google Drive? Do you just throw it into the cloud and let it sit there? So this is where you can get very organized and have us come in and look at everything and create organization for you. And then that way you have peace of mind and you don't have that all running around in your head. Okay. So my final thoughts on this are going to be that, of course, I think whether you're a single agent or you've been in the business for a few years or you're seasoned, you definitely need somebody to help you in your business, unless you are just that organized or you are just that particular that you just cannot delegate. But if you're that person that can't delegate, then I would say take one task and let somebody help you with it. And then that builds your confidence in that other person, knowing that they may not do it the way you want them to do it, but if the end result is achieved, then it doesn't matter how they got there. It's that they got there and it works. Okay. Just keep that in mind that, you as an agent, you're very particular. You don't want people touching your stuff, but you need to now start letting go and let other people help you so that you can become that agent that you want to become. And then if you're ready for those next steps, then I would say start identifying everything in your business, every task, every project you want to build, everything. I mean, I don't care if it's moving piece of paper from the left to the right. Write it down and then start talking to a real estate virtual assistant to see where they can help you and if that makes you feel confident enough to let them help you in that business. Now, if you're considering hiring a real estate virtual assistant, we would love to talk to you. We have on our website at kimhughes.com a download called the 72 tasks that a real estate virtual assistant can do for you. And yeah, there's 72 and there's probably more. So download that. And what we always recommend is if you want to download it, complete it, send it back to us, and we will jump on a call with you and give you some strategies. Whether you use us or not, just pick up the phone and call us. We're happy to talk to you because we know that we are not a fit for every single agent, but we do have the knowledge and the background to help guide you in the right direction of what you need. So I don't want anybody to feel like that they can't reach out to me because one, they don't want to use my company or they feel like they can't afford my services. That's not true. Come and talk to us. And if we can't help you, then at least you'll hang up that call knowing what direction you want to go in. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you have found that there are several things that you can use a real estate virtual assistant for. And I would say my key takeaways would be that, the tasks that a real estate virtual assistant can do for you, how to delegate. You've got to learn how to do that. What to look for in that real estate virtual assistant. You want to know what her experience is. You have the right to ask that. You want to know, maybe you want to talk to some of these people. And, if you came to me and said, well, Kim, I want to use y'all, but I want to talk to some of your past clients and current clients, I'm going to give you a list of people of agents that have given me permission to give you their information for you to reach out to them. So make sure that you do that. And then what I want you to do is what personality are you looking for? Are you looking for someone that has a lot of experience? Are you willing to train them and take that time? What is it that you need? Do you need a virtual? Do you need an on-site? Maybe you need both. I have a lot of clients that have director of operations, and they are basically my point person when we're working with them. And then I talk to the agent, but my point person on everything else is through the director. So just know that you can do this, and you can start off very small, and then it can grow into a great relationship. I mean, we've worked with agents that have been with us for 20 years. We've helped agents get started in their business as a first or a second year agent, and now we have seen them 15, 20 years later, become that referral agent in their market. They have become the number one agent in their market because they had us helping them along the way. And so just make sure that when you're building your team, that you do have the best people on your team. So if you would love to reach out, we would love to talk to you about this. You can go to my website, kimhughes.com. There's so many things that you can download from there. We have freebies. So if you go to the resources and then in the drop down, go to the freebies, I think there's like 15, 20 things that you can download and put in your toolbox for your business. And then we have a store where you can go and purchase things that you don't want to have to start over or recreate the wheel. So we look forward to hearing from you. If nothing else, just visit us on the website, learn everything you can because it is a ton of information. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you know someone, and I bet you do, who would appreciate this podcast, please share it with them. As a reminder, this podcast can be delivered directly to your favorite device by using the subscribe links you can find in the show notes below or over at unstoppablerealestateagents.com. Remember, it takes as much energy to wish as it does to plan. Have a great day.